Right now at noon, we're tracking Hurricane Maria as a monster Category 4 storm passes right over Puerto Rico. The center of that storm made landfall early this morning on the island, bringing winds of up to 155 miles an hour.
Right now, our own Andrew Perez is in San Juan, Puerto Rico, riding out the dangerous storm in his hotel. But we're also following another major natural disaster, the death toll rising in Mexico after a powerful earthquake rocks the region. Let's start with Maria slamming into Puerto Rico. More than 11,000 people checked into the 500 shelters there. They brought 600 pets. And Local 10 News reporter Victor Oquendo is starting our team coverage off from San Juan.
Victor Oquendo here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, just being battered right now by Hurricane Maria. The winds and the rain have been incredibly strong. At this point, you can really only see a block in either direction. Debris already covering the streets here. Just take a look right outside of our location. You can see plants down, signs down, metal just all over the place. Right there, what you might be looking at right now, a piece of insulation that came from a few blocks away. We watched it just blow right down the street. The big concern for so many people in this area, the storm surge and the wind damage. Of course, always a concern when a hurricane passes by. But here in Puerto Rico, so many of the homes were built to no code at all. They were built illegally by people who really couldn't afford to do it otherwise. And those homes, in speaking to an engineering professor at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, saying that those are the ones that are most susceptible to damage. Those are the ones most at risk to be swept away by this devastating storm surge that we could be looking at 6 to 9 feet of. That said, a lot of the homes here in Puerto Rico, were built to an older building code. Those were meant to withstand winds of 125 miles per hour. That would be like a Category 2 hurricane. Maria, much stronger than that, hitting Puerto Rico as a Category 4 hurricane. Bottom line, Puerto Rico hasn't seen a storm like this since about 1932.
We have team coverage at noon on Hurricane Maria.
And Local 10 News reporter Todd Tongan is in our newsroom now with some latest pictures coming into us. Todd?
That's right, ladies. Right now, Puerto Rico getting pummeled by Maria. It is now still a Category 4 hurricane, a deadly storm. Already the country's governor has said that it's total devastation there. Now, we were going to take you to some live pictures out of San Juan, but it is so windy that they're down. We do have some pictures from the island, some video. This was the scene in San Juan earlier today from what appears to be a hotel balcony. And as you can see, the strong winds hitting those palm trees, stripping them of coconuts and fronds. You see the heavy wind and the rainfall making the visibility almost impossible. Another brave witness in Puerto Rico shooting this video from the window of his hotel room. He says everyone inside the hotel is safe, but they are scared. As you can see here, the waves beginning to form just outside the hotel and that storm surge that everyone is so concerned about possibly building. Here is a view from above a neighborhood in San Juan, and if you look very closely, you can already see part of a roof that was ripped off. Of course, heavy rainfall from Maria has already flooded many streets. We're now seeing hardly any cars or people out on the roadways or in the streets. That's a good sign. Everyone staying inside, riding out the storm, including our own Andrew Perez. Now, Maria did make landfall last night. Here's video from Andrew in his hotel room. He is in Puerto Rico right now. This was the scene outside of his hotel last night as he ducked out and those fierce winds began to pick up. How strong those winds are even inside of an enclosed stairwell of that hotel. What you heard are those howling winds coming from that hotel that he is in, coming down several floors to get a look at what's going on outside. The system has already broken 2 National Weather Service radars that are installed on the island. We are also getting this video from a neighborhood. This neighborhood is just along the coast, and there you can see the waves are really starting to pick up as Maria makes her way across the island. The good news is a lot of the homes that we have seen from the video that's been coming in appeared to be boarded up with either plywood or aluminum. So the folks in Puerto Rico making their storm preparations, hoping to minimize her damage. Maria, meanwhile, has already knocked out power to almost the entire country. In fact, the governor there reportedly lost his connection to his cell phone, so now he has resorted to using a landline. We are also waiting to hear from Andrew Perez. he is going to get hold of us as soon as he can get communications established. Parts of Puerto Rico also under a flash flood warning from the heavy rain from Maria. As Puerto Rico rides out, as Andrew Perez rides out this storm, he is going to be staying on top of the very latest developments and bringing you new information from the island as soon as we get it. For now, that is the very latest from the newsroom. Todd Tonkin, Local 10 News.
Thank you, Todd. And we spoke to Victor just a little while ago, and he's just one of the reporters fanned out across Puerto Rico covering Maria.
And here is some of what they encountered this morning.
I can hear the roofing of buildings here in San Juan coming off. As I look in the distance, it is hard to see beyond several feet in front of me.
And we are back here on the northern side of San Juan here. I can only imagine what went down when this thing made landfall in the southeast corner of this island. Obviously the eye getting closer and closer to us, that eye wall now scraping the northern beaches here. These palm trees are just being tested to their limit right now. You barely see the surf behind me through all this rain that's blowing sideways. It is just pounding this shoreline.
Look at that Hard Rock Cafe that has a tree completely come down. The Hard Rock Cafe sign is on the ground. Starbucks coffee next to it only has the word coffee up because the rest of the sign came down. And its neighbor there, another business next door, the door completely came down. I just stepped into this hotel. The alarm is going off.
Boy, and just to show you another angle of how bad the destruction is and the cleanup will be for Puerto Rico, this is what's left of a neighborhood in San Juan. The wind's ripping off a major chunk of tiles on at least 2 homes right there. You can expect this to be a very familiar scene for other buildings and homes in the area.
And before hitting Puerto Rico, Maria savaged other islands in the Caribbean. In the past 26 days, only 26 days, we have had 3 Category 4 or higher storms. There's never been more than 1 Category 4 storm to make landfall in a year, and Hurricane Maria will make 3. Maria escalating from a Category 1 to a Category 5 hurricane in just 9 hours. The storm battering the Caribbean, first making landfall in Dominica. Winds gusting at 160 miles per hour. Maria battering the Virgin Islands, trucks overturned, buildings shattered, and roofs completely torn off.
Winds have picked up a lot.
The only Category 5 hurricane to ever hit the island.
I'm scared. I'm really scared.
St. Croix taking a pounding, people hunkering down to ride out the storm. A group of friends were on the island as Maria moved in.
We're in a solid 3-story concrete structure. So we moved into our second room. Our first room started having a lot of water come in. And
it's very scary. And the wind, I think, is over 105 miles an hour right now.
And families of American medical students, they're still trying to reach their loved ones.
You want to know your loved ones are safe, your family, your friends.
Marco's been there since May. He's an awesome kid. And I just need to hear from him.
The storm claiming at least 1 life in Guadalupe. More are missing. 80,000 people are without power, and streets are now rivers. As of right now, it looks as though Maria will spare Florida and the southeast coast from any major impact.